Okay, in this video we're going to do basic colorization of a pre-drawn illustration. So the first thing that we got to do is we got to create a coloring zone. And we do that by going into here, and as you can see we have a selection layer and stuff like that. So we're going to create a new layer. Oops, let's undo that. So we're going to come over here and we're going to select the zone tool, and we're going to create some zones. I'm going to zoom into here. There's a zone, so I want these jeans to be a bluish color. So I'm going to go over here to the brush tool, and we're going to select a lighter blue color. Now I'm going to do it light for a reason, because we're going to darken the effect. So we're going to go here and we're going to widen the brush a little bit. Okay, so brush needs to be not that wide. So we're going to fill in this zone right here. Now that's one way of doing it right here, is to color like that, but what we're going to do is we're going to use the bucket tool and just fill it in like that. So now this character is going to have a headlamp, which means that when we cell shade, we're going to have to shade to the headlamp, which means that the darker tones would go onto the sides here. So let's go back to here, and let's bucket tool this in. Okay, so we got those right there. Now, what I mean by tinting the drawing is we're going to go back to the brush tool here, and we're going to set the opacity to 50%, and we're going to change the color to black. And when we cell shade, it's going to see how the opacity changed. So you have to use a different tip for this. So let's use the airbrush. So now that we have the airbrush, we can come across here. Oop. Didn't change the opacity. Okay. The opacity is now around 50%. Well, that's not doing it. Okay, so let's back that up. Now I think I have to use a different brush. Okay. The airbrush, I forgot, doesn't have opacity layers because it's just flat covers, so we're going to have to go to, oops, that tapered airbrush. There we go. That's a lot better. Okay. So, and there you see, that's how you're going to be doing the cell shade there. You want to get on either side of the leg here. And into here as well. And now you want to change the color from black to white, because instead of doing a shadow, we're doing an anti-shadow here. And now that we have the shadows into order, we're going to smudge the colors into place. So we're going to go to the smudge tool here. And we're going to start gently blending the colors together. So that we can have a nice graduated color. And we're going to go over here and do the thing. Now this is one of my characters called Victoria, who's from the Darkness Saga series. And she's an elf, but she's also a neko cat because they're shapeshifters. Okay, so we're going to have to gently blend this together so that it looks like a even and keel shade. Now, if we go to here, okay, deselect that. And now you see how we have these lines in here, which are digitized and broken up. We're going to take the smudge tool and do the same here. Oops. I had the wrong tool selected. Okay, so we're going to have to go here to smudge. And gently graduate these together. Maybe small. Maybe make the smudge tool a little bit smaller. So that we don't have this pixelized granulation in here. So get those together smaller like that. Get those to pull together a lot better. So that we can really define the shape of the gradient. Get the shadow to what we're going to do is we're going to increase this here, and we're going to get the shadow to pull into the jeans like this, so that it occludes in a little bit farther. And as you can see, the blending here is coming along a lot better, which is good for the drawing in general. Get some more of that blending going in there. And then we're going to freaking make our little evil kitty come to life here. Okay, so we're going to blend some more of this together here, so it doesn't look so harsh and jagged. Because those harsh and jagged pixelation lines would be a real killer. There we go, so that's all together there. So, okay, we got those jeans down. Now she wears a red camisole. So we are going to make her camisole crimson after we get a zone around it. We gotta make sure we get all of it in the zone before we work with it. And I think that's, I think there's some here. And I think we've got that all zoned up. So now we can work on the camisole here. So we're going to go back to the bucket tool. And we're going to select our color, which is going to be this color, which is going to be the primary red. Now we're going to freaking make it look crimson, which is this color. They're tinting. So now we got this right here. We're going to drop the colors in there. And the zone helps confine the splash spaces so that I don't accidentally hit the black and turn our black fur into an issue. Okay, it looks like I have to select some of this stuff down here. So go back to the selection tool, select this. We're going to select this and that. I think I over-selected there. Okay, so we're going to select this as well. And then we're going to go back to the bucket tool and fill these in. And we're going to do the rest via shading, but first we have to put the shadow lines in, so we're going to go to brush here. We're going to go to the airbrush trapezoid 50%, and we're going to change the color to black. And we're just going to do some accentuations here. For a little bit of the under area there, and then we're going to do some colorization here. And now we're going to go to the white color and do the same. It's going to be there and there. So now we go back to the smudge tool and we're going to do our blending. Once I smaller the smudge tool. Okay, so we're going to do our blending here. Oh wait, let me remark that. There we go. Okay, so back to the smudge tool. We're going to sharpen this up here and bring this into here, like so. To properly colorize this. Okay, so we got that done. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to create a zone in the hair, because she has red hair. And we're, once we have all these hair areas properly zoned, well, I think that's a gap. Okay. One more. Okay, so. Okay, so all that stuff's in the zone. Okay. Well, if anything's not in the zone, then we'll be able to. Now we're actually going to use the darker redder color for our hair. And we're going to fill that with the bucket tool. Just like so. There we go. So that we can colorize our hair. Okay. It looks like this area has not been zoned. So we're going to do this into here. And zone this whole area. And then we're going to bucket up the hair there. Now, we already have the highlights in there from the vector shading, so we don't have to freaking do the white highlights there, but what we do have to do is we have to use the brush and switch it to black to come in here and do the tips, like this. So that we have a shade in here. So we're going to do these tips right here like this. And get that in there. So it creates some flare to the hair, of course. Do this area up here. And we're going to, what we're going to do with this here is we're going to use the smudge tool now and to increase the size of the smudge tool. And then we're going to smudge this to bring it out and create a textured like line so that we can bring Victoria to life. Okay, so we have all that done now. I'm going to select my tool and deselect it. And as you can see, your hair has now been brought to life, but we got those annoying little zones in there that have creating gaps. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the smudge tool and just go over them a little. Just like that, to soften them up so that they're not so harsh. And we're going to soften these lines up a bit to improve their the way that they flow in the composition. And once we get through there, we're going to move on to the eyes. Now the mouth is pink, so we're going to do that. We're going to do the eyes first, and we're going to do the eyes in a yellow color. So we're going to go back to our zone tool and create a zone for the eyes. So now that we've created a zone for the eyes, we're going to use the bucket tool, and we're going to fill them with a color. In this case, it's going to be yellow, but I selected orange. Okay. So we're going to fill that there and fill that there. Okay, so we have the eyes there, properly zoned. We're going to go back to the brush tool. And we are going to select black. And we're just going to come on the edges so that we can liven up those eyes a little bit with the airbrush opacity tool. There you go. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select white and get the accent to go with it so that we can have a little white in the eyes. And of course, every eyeball has a reflection. So what we have to do is we have to go to the brush tool here and we have to select a hard brush. And we are going to have to come here. Select white. And we put the shine in the eye, as it's called. Just like that. And now the eye's been shined. Okay, we're going to go back to the zone tool. And as you can see, there's a hard, crisp line, a digitalized, pixelized line. So we're going to go back to the smudge tool, and we're going to smooth that out. We're going to do a smaller smudge tool. We're going to soften this line to reduce the harsh pixelization. Like so. And that's going to fix that. So we're going to go over here and do the same thing. And this is how we're going to do this. There you go, there's the eye. Now, we got the fur here. We're going to do some, we're going to do some more smudging here to blend these colors together and drag more red into this black zone. Because this is a shirt after all, so we have to make sure that it reflects as a shirt. So we're going to get rid of these harsh lines. Increase the size. And all we're doing is we're just getting rid of the pixelization from the zone tool and the bucket tool, because it creates a small gap where it doesn't it creates a freaking I call it a void gap. Okay, so if we zoom out, there you go. The shirt, the red here should come out should flare out a little bit more. So I'm going to pull it out a little bit more like that, which I think will look better. Now I'm going to leave those whiskers like that because whiskers are often a harsh shape. So we have this and this. And we're going to get our kitty done here. Victoria the kitty. Okay, so we're going to pull this up here. Now we're going to increase the zone. And we're going to do a little bit of accentuation there. Now, these ears, they should be a color on the inside. So we're going to take our zone tool. We're going to colorize them. So we're going to create zones around all these areas. And I'm going to use the brush tool this time. This is a small area, I can just use the brush tool for this. And I am going to change the color here to a more pinkish color for the insides of the ears. So, okay, we got that. Let's increase our brush size. And we are going to do that. Now, we got that done. We can take away the aggressive thing here. So we got to take our smudge tool, drag it through like that. There we go. There's the inside of the ear there. And now we're going to come over here and do the same thing to this side. So we got this right here. Okay, so we're going to in there. Okay, so I'm going to take the brush tool here, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to colorize this ear in the same way we colorize the other ear. Oop. Back that off. Okay, so go in there. And then we'll zone up this ear. Okay, so we take the zone tool, and we're going to take the smudge tool here, and we're going to do this one in just like we did the other one. There we go. And her ears are looking a lot fancier. There we go. And we got that done right there. And so this illustration is coming along like quite nice. Now, you're wondering probably, is there something we could do about the hands? Well, I leave the hands as they are, but we do need to make the claws stand out. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to colorize the claws. So we're going to zoom in on them right here. And we're going to go back to our zone tool, so we have a safety zone. We're going to select these in here. And we're going to get these, let's deselect that. We're going to do this upper area as a pinkish color. Oops. Okay, so we're going to go over here. I think we got that. Okay, so we're going to take our brush tool. That's a blur tool. Okay, so brush tool here. And we're going to paint over the areas there. And we're going to deselect that, and we're going to go back to our smudge tool. Because smudge blends everything where blur blurs things. So we're going to, it's a little too big. Don't want to get rid of all of that. Okay, so we're going to come in here, and then we're going to go back to our claw designs, and we're going to do the claw in the same color as the eye. Oop, I selected everything. So we're going to do our claws in the same manner we did the eye. While we can retain the same shadow mystique of the drawing. Okay, so right here. So we're going to do this one to be yellow. Got a good brush for that one. Alright, so we're going to do this yellow color right here. And alright, so we got that done. And we're going to come in here and we're going to deselect that, and we're going to start smudging. Here, so that looks proper. There we go. There's the colorization on the claws there. Now I should go down here and get some colorization on these as well. On our floor claw. So let's get our zone tool going. And we're going to do these yellows too so that they match. We're going to select with our zone tool in here. There we go. So that's the that's going to be her right paw right here. So we're going to do this right up here. So we're going to do this, and we're going to do there, there, and there. It's like a basic masking procedure. So we're going to deselect this, and we're going to go back to our smudge tool. We're going to smudge that up, smudge that up. We're going to smudge this up. Go back here, undo the selection, go back to the smudge tool, and get rid of the jagged edges on the lines, like so. And there you go. It's the colorization's coming along right quick here. So we're going to go in here and look at our layers. Okay, so I am going to add a background to this, and then we are going to create a shadow effect using layering. So I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to add a photo. So we're going to add this one right here. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to move it to the background layer. And we're going to have to cut out that white spot there. So we're going to grab the zone tool again. Make sure we're on the right layer. Okay, zone tool here, zone tool there, zone tool there. We're going to have to cut that zone out, and this one out. Oh, and that one out too. So we're going to take this and we're going to erase it. We're going to make the eraser the biggest it can be, which will make it a lot faster. Okay, so there's some places the zone failed to zone. So we're going to have to go into here, zone that, and we're also going to have to zone this spot here. Alright, so we got that all, and now we're going to have to go back to the eraser tool. Erase that, and we're going to have to erase that. Okay, let's take down the zone. And now to create the shadow, we're going to have to duplicate this layer. And we're going to have to go here, because this is going to be the foreground image and this one's going to be the shadow. And how we're going to blend this is we're going to go to invert, and that's going to create the shadow right there. And how we change the shadow is we go to transform and perspective form. Where if I want to create a shadow this way, we can create the shadow going this way. So we're going to make this direction shadow. Right there. And we're going to redo the layer. Now, the shadow's not matched up with her knees, so we're going to go back to the this one, and we're going to move it. So it's like that. And now the shadow is aligned with her. And that's how you basically create a silhouette. Now, now that we got this, we're going to create effects upon this. So we're going to flatten everything here into one singular image, and then we're going to do layering effects. Wait, I think there's still a zone? Okay. Alright, so it's not layering properly, so what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to drop this one down first. There we go, that one goes down first, and then this one. Okay, so we got that all properly done, so I'm going to duplicate this layer twice, because we're going to create a particular effect I like. So we got this, this, and this. And now the first effect I'm going to do is a screen print effect, which is going to darken the image a lot. So we're going to go to here, we're going to go to screen tone, and we're going to go to we're going to do cross L4 now. Let's do cross hash. Yeah, that one's the one I like. Okay. So we got that one done, which darkens the mood of the piece, but there's something I want to do a little bit more to create the highlights. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the effects tab and we're going to do anime background. We're going to say yes. Close that out. We're going to change this to a soft light. And as you can see, now she's blended with everything. And this is one of the ways that you would do a composition like this.